Whoop. Hello. Welcome to some more mini painting. Sinner, hey, right as you're shopping. Oh no. Let me just get this going. Yeah, nice. Okay, so what do we have here today? Well, I had this dreadnought sitting around, unpainted, but assembled and magnetized for half a year, about half a year. And today the boxes with the new nids arrived, but in the evening, I was making cheese sauce for my cauliflower. Good lord. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time in a while that Cinna got the first. Let her have it, come on. It's like herding cats in here. It feels like half a year. Because time feels endless without you. Right, so I have a Contemptor Dreadnaught, yes, very good. So can we all focus on that? Yeah, there we go. You were here for the last stream where you were sleepy. So yeah, lovely little Contemptor Dreadnaught. And I have him all magnetized, which means he's kind of wobbly. So we can just take those off. Very good. And yeah, the guns you can just slot on like that. So yeah, we got plenty to paint today, and also, oops, we should get the paint off of these sides here, because it makes it hard to clip the guns on. Also, next to that, I have a pair of bigger legs, a way bigger chassis, and some tremendously huge guns for my Leviathan Dreadnaught, which also just they also just slot on, and then he goes on there, and there's the Leviathan Dready. So the Leviathan, I just need to finish up some bits, but the Contemptor is like completely unpainted, so you're so sore today. Aww. Let me give you a little smooch to make it better. Mwah. There you go. You can't remember last stream, good lord. But yeah, so today's Imperial, or rather Chaos Dreadnought, and I think it's like super funny that they get bigger by the edition, right? So here's not really by the edition, but this is a Hellbrute, which is basically Chaos version of the regular as Dreadnought. He's yay big. Then you get the Contemptor next to him, it's a bit bigger. Then we have the Leviathan Siege Dreadnaught, which is still bigger and a little bit I don't like is that the new Primaris Dreadnoughts, like, this is supposed to be specifically made to siege cities and fortresses and shit. The new Primaris Dreadnought's like, yeah, the Siege Dreadnought's as big as one of his arms. It's insane. Like, he's half as tall as one of my knights. Ah. Don't worry. It's all good. If you'd be weird, I probably told you to go to sleep, so don't worry about that. Oh, also, yes, I was originally planning to, yeah, I did tell you to go to sleep. That is true, but not because you are weird, but because sleep is important. Trust the guy who rarely sleeps. You really don't want to start hallucinating. That's when things get fucked. The concerning sleep health. True. Right. So. So I was talking about the dreadies. We don't talk about 3 AM aura. It's fine. So, yeah, these dreadnoughts, I'm using them for my Chaos Army, or I intended to use them for my Chaos Army, so I was about to paint them up real, like, grimy and nasty. Yeah, 3 AM me. We don't talk about that one. Problem is, 10th edition has put a big old X on that because you can no longer run any dreadnought that is not a Hellbrute in a Chaos Army, which is kind of shit. So, I will still do that, and I will just use them as placeholders for Hellbrutes. Because why the fuck not? They have bigger bases than Hellbrutes, so I doubt anyone would complain about me giving myself a bit of a disadvantage for flavor. Right, so shall we get started then? I wanna start with the... Okay, I'll put all these guns aside. And I think I will talk a bit about the guns, about the lore of the guns, while I'm painting. So, first I need... my regular as wet palette. I want to mix some colors. There's matte white, we need that, and we need... What about brown? Is it over there. It's over there. Of course it's over there. We need skeleton bone. And I'm thinking about doing half and half. That should be good. Have I run out of matte white? I haven't ordered any colours lately, so I might have run out. No, I haven't. Good. Half this, half that, and a drop of two drops airbrush flow improver. There we go. Let me show you. There we are. Oh, and I need. Where's my? There's the tissue papers. Let's go. So we just. I need more white in this. There we go. That is an ungodly amount by now. There we go. I think I just depleted all my white. Okay, yeah, that's about the colour I want. So much Christmas stuff and music already in the mall. Yeah, I heard they have started defrosting Mariah Carey, so it's only a matter of time until the end times begin. I don't mind Christmas songs as like in general. I just she already played November 1st. Ew. It's November, yes. You think I would care? You'd think I would care about arbitrary rules the internet tries to oppose on me. Hell no. In that regard, much like Doctor Doom, I nut as I please. or as I am pleased. That is not off the table. But yes, I can't wait for December to roll around and everybody be like, afternoon at November, it's time for Destroy Your Dick December. And honestly, I pity everyone who involves himself in NNN. Why would you, like, put onto yourself a vow of celibacy for only 1 month? In the immortal words of Yoda, do it, you must. There is no try. My friend and I had a conversation about Thanksgiving versus Christmas. We decided Thanksgiving will be first Christmas that we celebrate for friends, parties, etc. Christmas is for family and loved ones. So first and second Christmas, okay. I mean, Christmas in Germany is different. I mean, where I live, it's still the, like, highly commercialized holiday of consumerism. But if you get closer to the Alps, it becomes very fun indeed. Because the air up there is a bit thinner, and that is conducive to a more, let's call it eccentric, because I don't want to call like a third of Germany crazy, but okay, a bit more crazy traditions, like Krampus and shit. Like, I don't concern myself with warding off the demons of old. I welcome them as friends. No, I'm honestly a bit miffed about the fact that Christmas is like all all consumerism and Coca-Cola nowadays. For God knows what reason. I want the old Christmas back where you could, without any guilty conscience, just terrify the children into behaving for yet another year. Oh, how I long for the old times. Can we have tea with Krampus? I don't know. I honestly do not know. But yeah, no, in the region I live in, the whole, like, Krampus tradition is not really there. Doesn't really exist down, well, up here, higher up north. It's very much so a southern German thing. Southern German as in Texas? Since when is Texas in southern Germany? No, no, no. Okay, so the the further south you go in Germany, the more Catholic and doctrinal everything gets, right? Yeehaw and such. No, 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 no. It's mostly because southern Germany is, like, heavily Catholic. For example, things you rarely see around here. There's like one village up here that has like the picture of a saint on a bridge. If you come to southern Germany, there's rarely any bridges without some saint portraits and stuff on there. Because, yeah, it's all Catholic. Oops, all Catholicism. And as you may imagine, or may be able to imagine, if there's one thing that Catholics don't like, it's traditions based on pre-Christian stuff. Well, anything really. But yeah, Krampus in general is really okay. Krampusnachten is something they still do in Austria and some parts of Switzerland. Because when the Catholics like took over, they turned Krampus into a figure called Knecht Ruprecht, who is basically Santa's right-hand man and beats children with a switch instead of taking them away and eating them. Which is, yeah. It's still weird, but it's Catholics, so it's not about not punishing you for perceived sins. It's more about, yeah, let's not have like a pre-Christian demonic figure run about the town and terrify children. Let's have that be done by a Catholic cardinal. Although, with all the stuff you hear about the Catholics and their priests, I'd not be surprised if children fear those more than Krampus. It's it's an interesting thing. So I was asked before, like, oh, you know how like every country has cryptids? Does Germany have some? No, we don't. With the sole reason that Germany got so thoroughly Christianized that there is barely anything left of pre-Christian stuff up here. No. Krampus is not a cryptid. Or at least not in the traditional sense, right? Cryptids, you usually get, like, sightings and stuff, right? A cryptid, by definition, is something of a as of yet undiscovered creature, basically. It is assumed that it is a sort of animal, it just has not been proven to exist. Something like that, right? There are no Krampus sightings. It's mostly oral tradition because before Christianization, people wouldn't really write stuff down in a way they do now. And after Christianization, the chances of getting something written down about a pre-Christian Christmas monster, or rather Yuletide monster, would be a bit weird. It's okay, for example, it's a bit similar in Ireland, for example, right? The Irish, before they got Christianized, had a entire pantheon of gods. They were polytheistic, having their Tuatha De Danann, I believe it is called, the tribe of Danu. Danu was their main god. And after Christianization, nobody wrote shit down about those anymore, and they got turned into like saints and angels and stuff, which is... it irks me. It really irks me. At least with stuff like the Romans, whenever they took over something, they like incorporated the local gods into their pantheon, which kinda helped keep them alive, but they didn't really well, Christianity didn't really do that. They were like, no, you shall not have any other gods, and that's that. So, kind of miffed about that. We have some things in Germany, right? We have some things that could be like considered borderline cryptids and shit like that, right? But some of those have already been explained, and some of those are just some tellings that have, in one way or another, survived. So there was, for example, there is things like Brockengespenst, right? A Brocken ghost. The Brocken. You know, elf on a shelf. I just found Krampus on a mantle. Good luck. Not broccoli. Brocken. It's a mountain in Germany. It's a mountain in central Germany, and it is a... Okay, so... It is said that on some days, when you are hiking on that mountain, you can see the shadow of someone running away from you or chasing you. Which it has been explained what happens there. So, the Harz Mountain, no, Brocken, right? The Brocken Mountain is, it's very foggy there. And if at the right time of day, and if the fog is thick enough, you can basically see your own shadow get cast onto the fog, which looks like someone is like standing there. Which is like super cool. I want to see that. I need to go there for a vacation or something. What else is there? There's like, I guess there's one German cryptid. There's a Rübezahl, who is said to be a giant who lives in the Harz Mountains. Nobody knows where the fuck that one came from. It's just, yeah, there's supposed to be a giant there. Oh, and we have the werewolf warding candle. But, like, the werewolf warding candle is it's weird. It's fucking weird because the US Army has a file on the fucking werewolf. So, let me tell you the story. There's this town, I don't know exactly where it is, where there supposedly was a werewolf once, until guess what? Christian priest came along, a Catholic priest came along and was like, okay, build a shrine on the graveyard and put a candle there, and as long as the candle's burning, no werewolf troubles. So they did that, and the candle's burning, and they do replenish and refresh the candle every now and then when it's about to, like, burn out. It's still being kept up, but supposedly, okay, there was a US military base close to there during, after World War II. And supposedly, the candle went out. And not that long after the candle went out, there were reports on that US military base that something is stalking around the fences. And then there were reports of something jumping over the fences. And according to those reports, whatever it was that jumped the fences was not quite human. Oh, it also bounded over a 15-foot fence in a single leap. So, werewolf warding candles. And there's an actual report about that. I'd need to have a look if I can find it, but there is an actual report about it. You know what? I need to wait a moment for the paint to dry anyways. US military. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I don't want to look up. Okay, so there was a there we go. The US military incident at Moorbach, Germany. So there was Operation Werwolf, which was a Nazi plan to basically keep around to basically stay around as a sort of guerrilla force during the occupancy, right? Okay. So, here. Moorbach was a munitions site just outside of the village of Wittich. Supposedly, Wittich was the last town where a werewolf was killed. There is a shrine just outside of town where a candle always burns. Legend has it that if the candle ever goes out, the werewolf will return. One night, a group of security policemen were on their way to their post at Moorbach when they noticed that the candle was out at the shrine. And all joke about the monster, and all joked about the monster. Later that night, alarms were received from a fence line sensor. When the security policemen investigated the call, one of them saw a huge dog-like animal stand up on its back legs, looking at him, and jumped over the 7.5-foot chain link fence. A military working dog was brought to the area where the creature was last seen, and the dog went nuts, not wanting anything to do with tracking the creature, so the dog was fucking scared. This occurred in 1988. Another eyewitness account reads as follows. I was stationed at Hahn Air Base, Germany from May 1986 to August 1989 as a security policeman, and it was my group that witnessed the Moorbach werewolf. Whoever told you the story about the monster that you put on your website had very accurate information. The creature that we saw was definitely an animal and definitely dog or wolf-like. It was about 7 or 8 feet tall, and it jumped a 12-foot security fence after taking 3 long leaping steps. So yeah, there's the Moorbach monster. Supposedly a werewolf that went on record with the US military in Germany. Which is fucking weird. I mean, okay, so there's this ancient story about a werewolf in the next town over. Like literally in our neighbor village. Which says that some dude some dude like turned himself into a werewolf in order to stalk a woman, and left roses at her doorstep. And one day, the woman's actual boyfriend or husband to be or whatever was like, nah fam, no fucking werewolf stealing my girl, and strapped a wooden plank to his back, because it was said that the werewolf always attacked people by jumping on their back. So he did that, and he stood himself in front of the forest. Well, his back towards the woods. And then the fucking werewolf actually came and jumped and got his claws stuck in the board, after which he ran with a werewolf on his back into the town's threshing barn. And you need to... So, back then, no combine harvesters. You harvested, you cut your crop, and then brought it to a threshing barn where a steam-powered thresher would thresh the wheat. And he supposedly, chucked the werewolf into the thresher. And everything was good for like 3 days until the lady's husband-to-be disappeared and roses started reappearing at her doorstep, implying that he got turned into a werewolf, also implying that werewolves have the habit to deposit roses at women's doorsteps, which is kind of weird. Oh, and then there's the like literal 10-foot hellhound, which is another thing, like a regional thing, which is more specific to my village. So there's like this spot in the forest, and the older people in town used to say, hey, keep away from that area of the forest at night, because no good things come from there. It is literally referred to in my village as the unhallowed grounds, right? They literally call it the unhallowed grounds, that specific area. And it has to do with just a straight up spot in the forest where there's like barren earth. Nothing grows there, which is completely weird, because you'd think in a forest there'd be plants and shit. There's not. I was there, I've seen it, I could go there again and take some pictures. It's literally barren earth in the middle of a fucking forest. And, yeah, it's said that it's a literal gate to hell. And that there is a 10-foot hellhound popping out of there every now and then. Well, I mean, nowadays nobody's like, oh yeah, there's a like 10-foot hellhound coming out of there, because nowadays we've got stuff like, you know, cameras and shit. But it used to be said that there's a 10-foot hellhound popping out of that piece of like unvegetated soil. Because Hell Portal, why not? There's also the story about the church in town. which supposedly stands where it stands right now, because literal divine intervention. So, the story goes that back in the day, way back when the church was built, they originally planned to... Okay, so imagine, if you will, the village where I live is basically surrounded by hills, and we have one hill in the center of the village. That's the hill the church stands on. Surprise! It's literally the highest point within the village. So the story goes that they originally wanted to build the church not on that hill, but further in the valley. Because the hill was kind of the edge of town back when that was still, like, back when it was built. And they wanted to put the church in the center of town, not on the edge. So they put the building materials into the center of town, and at night it is rumored that 3 white stallions came and miraculously moved all the building materials to the highest point on that hill. For fuck if I know why. That's basically it. That happened like 3 times. People put the stuff down from the hill back into center of town. Next night, horses come, put the stuff back on the hill. Happens, yeah, 4 times in total. And the people were like, okay, this is like literally divine intervention now. Fuck this, we're building the church wherever the horses drop the shit. And that's where it stood, ever since. Spoomy? What do you mean, spoomy? That's not spooky, it's literally a story about a fucking church. But yeah, as I said, Germany doesn't really have cryptids. It's more like every German village has its own, like, stories and legends and shit, and nothing much besides that. That is not spooky. Literal divine intervention to build a church is not spooky. But yeah, is there any, like, cryptid or local legend where you guys live? I'd be interested. Like, by all means, you don't have to be like, oh yes, this here is the village where I live, or the town where I live, but If there's like a regional thing that doesn't literally dox where you are. I know Muraka's like rife with that stuff, like the squonk. Which supposedly is a creature so staggeringly ugly that it does nothing but walk around and cry. Taho Tese. What the hell's that? Haunted mines? Is it literally just dead children haunting a mine? Oh, I know the Fresno thingies. They are cute. They're like pants. They look like a pair of white pants. The Fresno night crawlers, was it? Jackalopes. And Wendigos. Yes. And now I said the word. And cactus cats. I have heard about cactus cats. I've heard that somewhere, but I know nothing specific about that. About those. Oh, we're having an ad. I will take that time to have a quick little toilet break, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I have returned. Sorry it took a bit longer. I had to put some fire into the stove. Put some fire into the stove. Yes, I literally took fire and put it into a stove. Yes, enslaved exothermic reactions. No, had to put some wood. Reason being, we are currently renovating my brother's bedroom, so he has to sleep in the living room. And the living room is mainly heated by a wood-burning stove, so... Had to put some wood on there, otherwise he'll probably freeze to death tonight. Finally stove weather, yes. For a while now, but... I turned up our heater by, like, a blip today, and it's nice and warm now. Although I think I'll turn it down before I go to bed, because Good lord. I hate sleeping when it's too warm. Or it gets too hot in bed. God damn it, sinner. You know what I mean. Oh, love you too, honey. Oh, look who's blushing now. Hey, Angel. Thank you for the hydrate and the... Oh, stretch. Ooh, my neck just cracked so loud. Oh, I just said I don't like sleeping in a warm bed. Well, I do like sleeping in a warm bed, but the covers and the sheets need to be cold when I get in. Stretch. Oh, there we go. But yeah, I have real trouble sleeping in summer when it's too warm. Because you can only be naked without covers, right? And if it's still too warm, then I just don't sleep. I don't know, roll around and suffer, I guess. But I think that's fairly normal, isn't it? So, oh, here's a thing. Before I had my AC, I used to grab like heating flasks, right? You know those? Yeah. It's like a rubber bladder, I guess. You can fill it with hot water. You usually fill it with hot water. Like, I don't know what else to call it. A heating bladder? That just sounds wrong. Right, those things. You seem to know them. Yeah, the water bags. So, you usually fill those with hot water, but in summer, before I had my AC, I used to fill them with cold water and just put them on top of me while I was sleeping until they like started warming up, and then I just tossed them off the bed because shedding excess thermal mass is good. If you want to cool something down, there's nothing better than shedding excess thermal mass. Tossing things off the bed, not on the bed. Listen, I'm not tossing it on the bed. That's just weird. It just makes a mess. No, it does not really. It's not really about the immediate cooling, right? I don't really care about that because it's way too warm anyways, and if you're freezing, that's not really conducive, because if you cool yourself down too much, your body will be like, oh, I'm starting to get cold. Let me just get warmer. Which is bad. You don't want that. You want like cool-ish, like room temperature, and then they take on body heat until they've got what, body temperature, and then you just toss them off. Keeps you cool without telling your body to go into overdrive with the heating. No, no, no. That sounds like a suboptimal way to cool oneself. Like, I have an AC now, I don't need to care anymore. When I'm like, yes, I like to keep my room at 15 degrees centigrade, I can do that. What do you mean, you lucky fucker? I bought the bloody thing. And it's not like installed AC, it's one of those things you put into your room. One of those boxes. And honestly, I usually don't have those on overnight. Like, I turn it on before I go to bed. When I can, like... when I'm not in the room. Because I need to put that hose out the window, and as soon as I open the window and put the hose out, I get... The entire room gets, like, filled with mosquitoes. Oh, but Angel, now that you're back, you happen to have any, like, cryptids or ghost stories around your town? Any, like, headless horsemen or black shucks or stuff like that? Cornwall owlmen? I know you're nowhere close, Cornwall, but still. Sadness. I know the UK has a bunch of folklore because, well, one of your kings was smart enough to be like, fuck you, Rome, I'm doing my own thing now. So, you've gotten it, they didn't even have time to, like, ruin everything. went to the grave of one of the witches. No, that's like baby stuff. Like, honestly, everyone has witches everywhere. Hence the whole Inquisition stuff, right? Yet again, by the way, started by an Austrian. Was not actually German, the bloke. What was his name? Wait. I can read it. I can look it up. Give me a second. Wait. Well, I don't exactly remember what he was called, but yeah, I do have one. Here it is. Hexenhammer, the Malleus Maleficarum. I have one of those. The Hammer of Witches. And why do I have one? Because I'm weird like that and I like to collect curiosities. It sits on my shelf right next to a meteorite fragment and a vial of weird green shit that once fell out of an unmarked van. Still don't know what that is exactly though, so I'll keep my hands off it. there's a UK map of mythical creatures. Honestly, I'm way better with Irish folklore than I am with British, like... So yeah, if you could send me that, I could have a look at it. That'd be cool. Nice. I'll have a look at that after stream. Thank you. Probably a lot of UK stories about creatures. Yeah, I mean, UK is pretty much like we have it over here with that kind of story, right? Every little village has its own little ghouls, ghosts, and goblins. I could tell you these stories if you do the tour. Yeah, but no, in terms of like Britain, not Scotland, not Ireland, I only know of well, Black Shuck And well, that's about it, isn't it? Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, most stuff I do know from the Isles is Irish. Um, UK folklore gets because the royal history. Honestly, no, not really. I will tell you exactly why nobody knows UK folklore, because they're like, UK, so you mean all the King Arthur stuff, right? And that's where the thought ends for most people. There's a ton of folklore in the UK, but it just gets massively overshadowed by Arthurian mythos, to the extent that you really need to look for specific things, otherwise people will be like, ah yes, and King Arthur. And honestly, fuck King Arthur. Probably Roman and massively blown out of proportion, because the first story that mentioned him said he was just mentioned in passing, like, oh yeah, and then there was like Arthur, who was a brilliant swordsman who ended up dead on the east wall with crows eating at his face. Also probably Roman. Robin Hood. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows Robin Hood. Steal from the poor, give to myself, all that jazz, right? Oh, here's something that is more or less part of Arthurian mythos and still a cryptid. The questing beast. Although I seem to have misplaced the memory of how that story went, but that's like old. That's like old myths. Like, Try on clothes. All good, don't worry about it, Sinner. I mean, I guess goblins are like a originally British thing. Oh, there's that one road in Britain where like a disembodied feet chase you or something. The Green Man. Honestly, whenever I hear that, I can't take that one seriously because all that comes to mind for me is some ancient hippie who's been living in the forest for so long that he's like covered in moss.
I am the Green Man, guardian of the forest. You happen to have some pot?
You know what? Let's pop open the map and I'll have a look and see which ones I know. Okay. Brown Man of the Mers? No idea. Renwick Cockatrice? Never heard of it. Lambton Worm? No idea. Bella Sheephead? What the fuck's that? A Filey Dragon. The Penhill Giant. The Hagworm. I know of hagfish, but not of hagworm. Yallery Brown. Tiddymun. What the fuck? Mersey Mermaids. The Bomber Fish. Griffin. Black Anise. That's just a racist thing. Lantern Man. Heiter Sprite. There's Black Shuck, I know that one. Mordeford Dragon. No idea. Elder Mother. Gog and Magog. I know of those. I know of those. Ithorpe Little Witches. No idea. Highclere Grampus. Knucker. The Gooseberry Wife. Tarnet Sea Monster. Pisky. Girt Worm. Old Cocken and the Statford Lion. No idea. I know like 2 of those. Good lord. As a bunch of things. Yeah, that's true. The Penhill Giant rung a bell in my head, so I've heard that. And that giant what? He did what? He chalked onto the ground? Okay, that's weird. I mean, I know why you chalk the ground. You do that when there's too much acidity, right? But I know we had the fairy hunting thing, because 2 girls told a lie and one said it was a lie when she was old and dying, so that gets scrapped. What? Fairy hunting? People are hunting fairies? Yes, do that. Kill them all. Hunt them to extinction. Let humanity be rid of those bloody fae. I hate them. Now pick out the giants. Be warned, there's a PP. Okay. I will consider myself warned. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, there is indeed. There is indeed an erect member on that picture. Good lord. I mean, it's a chalk outline of one, but still. Yes. There's a giant with a club and a stiffy. We don't know if he's from the pagan past or a Greek god. Wait, is he north or south of the Hadrians? Should be fairly easy because if he's Roman, right? If he's Roman, he wouldn't be above the Hadrians, right? South. Oh god damn it. Okay, if I were to hazard a guess at that, right, I'd say it's probably not Roman. Because the only deific figure depicted by the Romans wielding a club would have been Heracles or Hercules. Problem with that is he is also never depicted without his lion's pelt. So why Greece, not Rome? Like, the Greek never went up that far. If anything, it would have been something the Romans took from the Greek and put up there. But still, like, even the Greeks, right? Even the Greeks depicted saw their gods as sort of nobility, and wouldn't depict them with a club because a club is a peasant's weapon. There's also like only literally one Greek god that uses a club. But yeah, it's missing the lion's pelt to be Heracles. So I'd hazard a guess and say probably just some pre-Christian pagan thing. But who knows? Who knows? He is definitely a fertility god. So here's another thing, right? In all the old-timey stuff, right? The only gods depicted with a stiffy were fertility gods. Yes, I too am a god of fertility. But only after 3 a.m. Hey, don't bonk me. I just said what you wanted to hear. Bonk yourself for thinking about it. We don't talk about 3 a.m. Aura. Again. That way you'll only encourage people to ask questions. Could have been a message. Look, we have enormous clubs and penises. Can you see the French coast from the British coast? I don't think so, right? It's too far. Ooh. You know what it could be? Club can also be the is also a weapons yes, is also a hunter's weapon. And considering, if I'm not mistaken, that thing, I mean, it doesn't have antlers, but it could be a depiction of what later on got like put into folklore as Höne? Maybe, who knows? There's some interesting stuff. Like, good lord, I need to probably bugger bloody anthropologist to death with my questions, but it's fine. On a clear day, it's possible. Holy shit. I mean, I'm nearsighted, so I wouldn't, even on the clearest of days. Oh, I just run straight through the ad. Oh, god damn it. I was about to go for another break, but I didn't look at the time. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Yeah, there's a castle ruin that's supposedly where Excalibur is from, although Excalibur is like just a modernized anglicized version of the old Anglo-Saxon Anglo-Saxon term for a long sword. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, the whole Arthurian mythos is just various stories from various people and times and regions put into one cohesive thingamajig by a single author. It's like vastly overblown, and there's so much more interesting shit going on. But no, everybody's like all about that maybe Roman bloke, maybe Anglo-Saxon bloke who had a sword. Bah! Garf. Like, I honestly, I want to do a stream where I just tear apart the Arthurian mythos, because, like, most of it, like, I'd say a solid 60% of it has been written by a French author who basically just wrote King Arthur fan fiction. It's fucked. It's fucked. It's just fucked. I'm going to take a break and have a piss. I'll be right back. Right, and there we are again. Okay, some more stone circles besides Stonehenge, yes. Not that uncommon. It's just that most didn't stand the test of time, as it were. Some have, yes, but most of them haven't. It's fascinating to me that, like, humanity likes to underestimate itself, right? So everything has to be weird and mystical. We are basically, in terms of like brain and stuff, we are the same as we were back in Roman times and way before that. The only thing that changed is the amount of knowledge we hold and the things we have discovered since then. So I find it kind of weird that people are always like, oh, Stonehenge. People back then could never have made that, or the pyramids must have been aliens because people back in the day were too stupid. No, they weren't. They were just as smart as we are nowadays. We just have accumulated more knowledge. Same thing with like, oh, all the great knowledge was lost when the Library of Alexandria burned down. First of all, the Library of Alexandria didn't burn down. It was a part that was a storehouse of the Library of Alexandria, located in the Harbour District. That burnt down. Secondly, libraries back in the day had very, very, very much communication between them, so whatever was written down in one library was copied and sent to others. So it was not that this huge, like, intelligence, this huge problem where, like, all of human knowledge was gone because of fire. Lord, no, it wasn't. And don't even get me started on the fucking Spanish. The bloody Spanish in Mesoamerica because, ooh, these people look different from us. They must be savages. God damn it. The amount of knowledge that has been lost because of the bloody Spanish and their little conquistadoring they did in Central America. It's You did nothing. The Spaniards. Unless you consider yourself a Spaniard on your way to conquer Middle America and murder the entire populace with disease. And guns. wish you could conquer me. Sure you could. Love ya. Mwah. Okay, enough blabbering and ranting about lost history and knowledge because some chuckle fuck decided, yes, conquering is good. I need to do more, like, history stuff. I really like that stuff. And it's infinitely more interesting than, I don't know, the next presidential election in America, or whatever people talk about. Let's instead talk about, I don't know, Cleopatra's bee-gourd. Yes? Shall we talk about Cleopatra's bee-gourd? Yes, bees! Bees in a hollowed out dried gourd plugged with wax. You shake it and they start buzzing, which makes the whole thing vibrate. Hence why Cleopatra invented the vibrator. And it's true. True facts. I mean, we don't exactly know if it was Cleopatra who invented the vibrator, but does it really matter? It was invented around the time that she was around, and since everybody needs to attach any bit of promiscuity that comes from Egypt to Cleopatra, why not? Let the lady be the one who invented the vibrator, why not? So yes, gourd follow bees. Oh, also, we all know nowadays Cleopatra kind of a diplomatic genius and overall pretty smart ruler of Egypt, right? Came from House Ptolemy. House Ptolemy was instated as the rulers of Egypt by Alexander the Meh, and Cleopatra was the product of some 11 generations of incest. Yep. Because House Ptolemy was famous for being extremely incestuous. Like, man having children with his own daughter and then his own granddaughter incestuous. So yeah, that's another fun fact. Only the worst fun facts here. That's light olive green. Do we not have a yellow green? No, we don't. Okay, I'll have to see how this looks. Yeah, no, that's way too dark. Like, if I compare that to my Plague Terminators, that is way too dark. God damn it, okay. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. So, I just got myself Ordinal Duck Egg Green, which is the green I used for all my Plague Marines. So that should give us the right color. The origin of the name Britain is a random tidbit I learned. I mean, I don't know much about the origin of the name Britain, but I know that people used to call it Albion. And I honestly prefer that to Britain. Britannique. Which came from Greek writer, and it translated to painted people. Because they put in translation Latin PB, often got switched, made it Britannica. Britannia, till Romans eventually settled on Britannica. So Britain's translation is painted ones. Oh, here's something. When the British were like full on colonializing everything, the original name intended for Canada was New Albion. And honestly, I would have loved to have seen that on a map. Where you from? Oh, sorry, I'm from New Albion. I have no idea if that was even like semi-Canadian, but I said sorry, so it's like 80% more Canadian. Oh, and Albion, by the way, just means the White Island. Because of the chalk cliffs. Shout out to Dover. Oh, here's something for the Americans, right? New York. New York was not always New York. It was New Amsterdam before that, because guess what? The bloody people from the flats were there first. From the lower countries. You know, I do love me some history. It's fun. Sometimes the thing that come out of history are weird, like the what bouncing pickle law? What the fuck? Cannot be a pickle unless it bounces. What the fuck? The Connecticut pickle law. That is so weird. That is so weird. Like, why the hell must the pickle bounce? Why is it no pickle if it don't bounce? Sin is just obsessed with pickles for some reason. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she has a folder full of obscure pickle facts. So we can note that down. Sinner definitely has an entire folder full of pickle facts. Or is a lawyer that specializes in food-related cases based in Connecticut. One of those two must be true. Although they are not mutually exclusive. Watch me eat my words when she literally passed the bar in Connecticut. Am I mutually exclusive? What? That does not make any sense at all. That's just words. You're saying just words. Are we mutually exclusive? No. No, why should we be? That doesn't make sense either. Also, how dare you nerd me with your mass pickle knowledge? You're the nerd here, the pickle nerd. Mm-hmm. Oh god. Mara Arcanum. I don't think I know you. Hello. welcome, welcome. How's it going? Hello. This is unexpected. Hello. Yes. Welcome, welcome. I guess I should introduce myself, right? That's what you do when you get raided. Give me a second. Okay. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome! My name is Orakazu Draco, Lich VTube and variety streamer, which means I stream on a variety of days, but I'm basically currently obsessed with Ark. Hey, Thing, welcome, welcome. You're responsible for this, huh? Alright, so, we are currently painting some Warhammer minis, just so you know. And talking stuff and things about history and cryptids and weird things. Right. So, let me, before I forget, is that correct? Mara Arcanum. Yes. Boom, go. Animal Crossing. Interesting. Never played any of those games. I'm doing good. Yeah, don't... nothing to thank me for. It's the least I can do, literally. So yeah, doing good. So, how was Animal Crossing? By the way, you guys, I don't know what time zone you're from, but if it's late for you, don't feel forced to stick around, right? Big advocate for getting enough rest. Although I rarely do. Animal Crossing was chill. You were cleaning up your island. Nice. The chore that's never done. I mean, okay, so all I know about Animal Crossing, my cousin had it on her, what is it, Nintendo DS. And I think what you do is you put money in the bank and then you skip some time. Like you tell your console, you put that like forward by 999 years. And then you have a bunch of money and weeds everywhere. Is it just me or is that like super loud? There we go. Hey, a posture check. A little bit of a stretch. There we go. Ooh. Oh. A chill game where you can garden, catch fish or bugs or just design. Maybe I should try that out. Might be good for my blood pressure. It's a lovely game. Hmm. Old man Orocas. Come on. I mean, yes, I'm ancient and decrepit, but still. He's sexy. I am just ancient and wrinkly. Oh, good lord. The lies continue. No, whatever, dude. Just look at people like Hugh Jackman. Listen. With a name like that, Hugh Jackman is almost as manly a name as, I don't know, Chad Thundercock. I mean, look at it. It's not that far off of huge jacked man. What's wrong with Chad Thundercock? I mean, sure. People by the name of Chad are usually the least Chadly of people, but still. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. We are 100% say so around here. Oh fuck! I'm also streaming to YouTube. Ah! God damn it! I'm gonna get banned. I don't care. YouTube, you heard me. I don't give a shit. Oh, Lord. It's enough that I got a bloody copyright strike for singing the Ghostbusters theme last stream. So, oh yeah, I didn't tell anyone. I got a copyright strike for singing the Ghostbusters theme, so apparently I was pretty good. Okay.
I'm the ancient oracles who have come to eat ass and kick snacks. Oh, how was that again?
There you go. Wait, what? Yeah. My YouTube channel got a copyright thingy, not a. It's not a claim. or no, it's not a strike, it's a claim. I've got a copyright claim for singing the Ghostbusters theme. So all no money that is generated by that video will, or rather that VOD, will be given to whoever filed that claim. That's fine, we're not getting banned, but... Yeah, don't worry about it, thing. Nice having you around again. Okay. But yeah, by all means, get some rest. A warning, yes. The whole, oh, your video has been copyright claimed. If you don't want that to happen, don't music. Blah blah blah. All the money this would make goes somewhere else. And good luck, you're fucked. Do that 3 more times and you're out. So, yeah, apparently, whoever holds the rights to Ghostbusters is a right bastard. Okay. Let's get these knee pads also. There is an upcoming ad in 4 minutes. No, 2 minutes. 2 minutes 50. I'll take another quick little toilet break during that, so... That would be the ideal time to do that too, or get yourself something to drink. If you don't have anything, because... Or just look away from the screen for like 5 minutes. Yes, Sinner. As always, I'm taking a 5-minute break every hour, so you guys can, and I too, can toilet or water, or just not stare at the screen, because staring at a screen for too long is not good for you. Surprise, surprise. You're much better looking when you're in disguise. Right. Was that Billy Talent? Yes, it was. Now I have dated myself. Can I date you instead, Sinner? Yes, anyways, let's start that outbreak and I'll be back.
I'll be back.
In a minute or two. Okay, and there we are again. Turn that back on. Right, so more green. How am I feeling? Well, I've been painting for 3 hours and just started with the second color. I think I'm starting to get tired. It's fine though. If I tell people to go to bed when they're tired, not really. That's the issue with it, right? It just has tons of detail. Like, in terms of size, let me show you real quick what we are working with here. Here's the last thing we painted for comparison. There's the lictor, right? I mean, it's kind of big, but also here's the Maliceptor next to it. So not really that big. It just has a lot of detail I need to work on. Right. Move that up a bit. There we go. But yeah, there's some things on here that I wouldn't even have to paint, like this here gun. That's called a conversion beam, and it's actually a Mechanicus weapon that you can't even use that thing in 40k if you're not playing Mechanicus. And especially not if you're running a Chaos army. Was I playing a game where I had a laser drill as a weapon? Yes. Starfield. I murdered some pirates with a laser drill in Starfield. What? Why? Why are you asking? Oh no, Mechanicus. As in Adeptus Mechanicus, as in the tech priests of Mars. As in, wait, do I have a... I do have one. Give me a second. Wait. I knew it. As in, these guys with their red robes and their perpetual motion machine chicken walkers that they run in circles all day long because they don't know how to start them, so they can't turn them off anymore. Same with this. This is a Volkite gun. You can't use those in modern 40k anymore because they're all kaput and nobody knows how to repair them. Being attacked by cat with affections, very good. Honestly, sometimes wish my cat would attack me with affections, but she's a little lesbian gremlin that does not like being around men. Oh god. Right. Hmm. What say you guys we call it here for today, because I'm getting super tired. I am getting super tired and I'm starting to lose focus, which is bad. Yes, I am very much so getting sleepy. Time for bed then, yes. Okay, let's see who's live right now, who we can raid, and then I'm a calling here. I'm calling here. I'm close to 3 a.m. No, I'm more close to midnight, but it's fine. What is that? The Outlast Trials. I don't know. Okay, I see a bunch of memes on screen. Let's raid that. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for. Shit, man, I am fucking tired. Right, you guys, thank you so much for coming by and hanging out for a bit. Watching me paint my minis. I'll see you all tomorrow playing some more Ark. Survival Ascended. Yes. Until then, wish you all a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.